We are back with yet another session of our groundbreaking TV magazine show, Global Connections. This week we look at culture and tourism. We are at NWR where we have a chat with Nelson Ashipala, who is the communications manager. My name is Elizabeth Bambi, and here are our Global Connections. Good day, Nelson. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Nelson, can you tell us more about yourself and your role here at NWR?
Okay, my name is Nelson Ashipala. I'm the manager for corporate communications, online media, and MICE. Usually I always get the question on what MICE is, or what MICE stands for. So basically, this is a section that deals with bookings for meetings, events, incentives, and so if one has a conference, or if one has a wedding, they go through our office. But most importantly, I'm also responsible for that human relations between organization and the public. So I ensure that all stakeholders are taken care of, their needs. I also ensure that customer experience comes out and it is out there and it is nurtured and something that people enjoy. So in a nutshell, that's what Nelson Ashipala is, and that's what he does.
Awesome, that's interesting. Speaking of, I want to know when and how was NWR established? Just a short history.
NWR first came into operations in around January 1999, so it's been quite a long while. A gap was seen within the market for local, for tourism, whether it's local, international. Now we should remember that there are certain facilities which some were built from the colonial times that needed to be transferred over to an entity that is able to manage them, and most importantly also an entity that allows for locals to feel how special it is to travel, and most importantly also an entity that is able to operate within our parks. So that is what led to the establishment of Namibia Wildlife Resorts. I would like to think so far so good. The most important mandate for NWR is to ensure that locals and those within the SADC area get to feel and get to experience tourism, obviously at a fraction of the cost. Because you might know there's that connotation of the private sector being expensive, and this is why we now obviously see cases of Black Friday, why we see cases of 50% coming out. This is where an important role NWR plays, and this is what we allow customers to experience.
Just to say, I like Black Fridays.
You'll be happy to know that it's coming up. Announcements will start soon, and so you will love the current specials which we're running for this year.
So we should be on the lookout.
Please be on the lookout.
I can't wait. Namibia has a rich heritage. How does NWR help to showcase and preserve Namibia's rich cultural diversity?
The good thing about Namibia's culture and heritage is that it is found within the flora and fauna of our whole country. You know, it's not limited to certain areas. It's not limited to game parks. But remember one thing, Namibia is also known for its beautiful Etosha. This is our legacy, and that's why many say we need to protect it. NWR operates within these parks. So NWR has a responsibility of ensuring that or has a portion of responsibility in ensuring that our parks are taken care of. We are also found along the roads where popular heritage sites are found. I would like to give an example, the Fort of Namtoni, where the famous battle took place, that is found within the National Park. In fact, Namtoni, that's also one of our star resorts. If you go into the areas of Damaraland with the rock paintings, one can easily stay within Koriga's area. Then you have access to this artifacts. We have the famous Dara plant that's also found within the Damaraland area. Also, one can stay in Koriga. So, I think for us, automatically the route that passes through for one to experience this, they have to go, or one has to stay with NWR for close proximity and so forth. So this is the role that we play. This is the role that we bring in. I would like to think that many of our locals do travel to experience some of these artifacts. They do travel to learn some of our rich history. For example, Shark Island, that's where we operate our lighthouse, and it's a camping site, very, very much rich in history. So NWR plays a key strategic role in ensuring that our history is told and that we operate within historical areas. And so for us, this is very key and this is very critical.
I'm learning so much from you.
Yeah,
And one thing that I've noticed is if you type in Etosha, for example, you want to you want to go for holiday or you want to book accommodation. When you type in Etosha, NWR is written all over Etosha.
It's quite key for us. We like to believe that we play a major role in Namibia's tourism industry. We like to think that we contribute highly to the famous GDP that Namibia, tourism contributes about 15% to GDP, that NWR plays a very major role in this. Not to diminish our other role plays. Tourism is a collective effort, but NWR is, when you mention tourism, NWR is tourism.
Can you share some insights into cultural experiences that tourists can expect when visiting NWR facilities?
There is a lot of cultural experiences. For starters, many of our curio shops, we do stock local products that we usually motivate artists from within our country, to come and sell their local products within our curio shops. This is one of the important ones. There are certain activities which we also incorporate in. For example, storytelling. Storytelling is a concept that we have randomly on many evenings across most of our camps, most of our resorts. We sit around the bonfire and our well-trained guides will tell stories on the rich history of Namibia and the areas that we are within. We call it many moons ago. One area that I love so much that I once spent a week in was the Himba Living Museum that is found within the Korihas area. It was very amazing for me having to spend time with the Himbas, having to eat with them, having to experience strong culture with them. This is some of the things. So NWR does play a major role in these initiatives. But then most importantly, there's also certain culture that we've also been trying to encompass into Namibians, mostly Black Namibians, for example. There's a culture of fishing. So there's a certain group that has made it a tradition every festive season to go and spend their times along the mines, along the coastal areas, do nothing but catch fish. This for them is leisure and relaxation. It's starting to pick up within Namibians as well, within Black Namibians as well. And we always encourage them to experience this sort of culture. So I think for us, as NWR, we are trying to open up new ways of tourism, new cultures of tourism, trying to move away from the notion of going to the north the whole of December. Namibians getting to experience different forms of holiday for December. Quite importantly, I was happy there was a family last year that went to spend their time in Papa Falls for the festive season. This is what we encourage Namibians to do. And on purpose, this is also why our Black Friday specials, we encourage people to travel during December, because we want Namibians to incorporate new culture in. So far so good. We're also happy with that.
I like the fact that you encourage tourism, that you encourage people to travel, and you encourage people to experience different cultures.
Yeah.
And for me, and I believe for all the viewers, I think that is really a good thing to do, especially when it comes to our culture.
Yeah.
And moving on, are there any community-based initiatives or projects supported by NWR that enhance the cultural experience for tourists?
I think we with NWR's operation, our strategic plan speaks on the three major pillars. Your triple P, bottom line, people, planet, and profit. On top of us having to ensure that we give something back to our shareholder, which will be a big announcement which will come out end of this financial year, by the way. We also have to ensure that we take care of our environment. And we also have to ensure that the areas which we operate in, people are open to, they are open to benefits from tourism as well. I think with NWR, we have done certain important measures that speaks to us having to give back or tourists having to give back. One class example that came out was whereby in the Hardap region, tourists had to buy, pads and sanitary pads for the girl child. And I'll tell you what, when we announced this initiative, those boxes were filled to the brim. And when we had to give it away more, to schools, and we announced this, we started hearing those of when can we do it again? Where do we do it again? So I think for us, it's a no-brainer. We have been giving back. Our school projects, many tourists want to be involved in it, whereby we build school gardens across the country. Many tourists want to be involved. In fact, we had a tourist, when was it? Late last year, who wanted to be involved in the project so much so that he wanted to hike the Fish River Canyon and capture proceeds and push it within this CSR initiative which we have. So our triple P, mostly when it comes to people and planet, I think we are playing a very key role. Obviously not where we would want to be, but we are getting there and we'll eventually get there. So tourist involvement in social accessibility, I think it's starting to pick up. Obviously, we want to do more in regards to conservation and so forth.
Are there any cultural events organized by NWR that the tourists should look forward to attending? How do these events contribute to promoting cultural awareness and understanding among visitors?
We do have cultural events that take place, obviously not at a large scale as we would want them to. I just spoke of storytelling. Yeah, that is very, very, very popular amongst tourists. Like I know when we did the last one in Dolomite, the interest from tourists was so strong. We are trying to push it out across to all the other spheres. But most importantly, we also have guides that are found within our camps who are able to tell a rich history of every single activity that is happening in the park. For example, Waterberg, that is full of history. The plateau and the graveyards that are found there. Same thing also with surprisingly with Crossbarman. We have just announced the opening of the hiking trail. This hiking trail, what it has done is it goes through major historical points within the Crossbarman area that many of our clients also get to experience. And then we also have train guides that would walk people through and tell each and every story. The missionary building that is there, the rubbles, the graveyard. Actually, I also find it very amusing whenever I visit such places. It's always just new to me, everything always just comes and say, oh, this might have happened. I only see this is luxury, but things have gotten better. So I think for us, this is also, it's a journey we are willing to, it's a journey we incorporate within our services, but many are happy with.
Can you highlight any hidden gems or lesser known destinations that NWR promotes?
Wow, where do I start? From north to south, there are so many gems that are found within. And that makes my job very, very difficult to express. Personally, for me, I would start from the south. The ice resort. The Fish River Canyon, something magnificent. The fold up of it or the opening of it. One having to hike it. I always encourage people to hike the Fish River Canyon. Why is this? It is the most spectacular man-made nature one will ever get to experience. You come out from ice, one goes through to the Sources Flay area. The Dead Flay, picturesque, beautiful sunrise, beautiful sunsets, amazing landscape. And then from there I would move up to Hardap Dam Resort. I think Hardap Dam, to be honest, that's a secret. It's one of my favorite resorts in Namibia. That is under the NWR flagship. Why do I like it? Overlooking the dam is spectacular. Usually I would go out for fishing. Also very rich in history. There's also, many do not know this, but there's also a game park within the Hardap Dam area. And then I would bring out my stretch to perhaps Crossbarman. Crossbarman, I see it much more, or it is labeled as a family retreat. Why? The healing spas that are found there, the hiking trail that is found there, Most importantly, also the hiking trail now that has come out. It's near Windhoek. It's very much convenient. You go all the way to Waterberg. With Waterberg, once one books a game drive, you get to see, you are assured to see rhinos within the game park area. The hiking is also amazing. Once you climb up the plateaus, then you stretch it out to the coastal areas, the miles, mile 108, mile 72, all the way to Tora Bay, Terrace Bay. Fishing spots, I love fishing once I catch the big ones. And the good thing is we allow you to prepare it on site. So we call it a concept of from the ocean onto your plate. Very, very amazing for many Namibians. And having to catch your big first fish is just something that's amazing. Then we take it over to the Damaraland area. I don't think there's words that I can explain. Korigas, it's beautiful. You get to see your Volvicia plant. You also get to experience lots of cultures. Your desert elephants that you find along the way. Come down to Etosha. I mean, okay, Etosha, I don't even have to express. That's it's a non-given. And the good thing about Etosha is it depends on what type of traveler you are. If you want luxury, you can go to Onkoshi or Dolomite. If you want to sleep next to a waterhole, you've got Okakwea, for example, and you've Halali. Having to stretch down all the way to Popper Falls, your Bobata National Park is right across your doorstep. I think it's there. It's a beautiful story to tell across the board.
You've just turned me into a tourist listening to you. I look forward to traveling to all these places.
Yeah.
Namibia is known for its venture tourism. What kind of activities does NWR facilitate or recommend for tourists seeking adrenaline rush? I'm sure you explained some of them.
Yes. For me, the most important one is if you want to test your limits, if you want to test your capabilities, if you want to have fun, please go to go and do the Fish River Canyon hike. Stay at high ice. We transport you over to the beginning point. 6 days maximum total hike. Breathtaking. Between us, I haven't done it. I'm a scaredy cat. But whoever finishes it, they say they will do it again. Many have made it a tradition. Fish River Canyon is the best hike that one can ever experience. I mean, the Fish River, I'm told once it unfolds, it's the best fun you'll ever have. And then from there, one can now move over to the miles, to your Terrace Bay or your Tora Bay. I think having to catch the big ones, it's an experience on its own. I did it as an experience the first time. I went to go and buy my first fishing stick after having experienced it. So that's how amazing it is. And then most importantly also, along the Orange River, we have we do what we offer canoeing on the Orange River. Also amazing. One can take a 6-5 day hiking, boat rowing along the Orange River. Also amazing. I think there's so much that we offer, and one just has to understand what type of an adrenaline junkie they have to get to experience it.
This is interesting. How does NWR envision the growth of tourism in Namibia in the coming years?
It will grow. Personally, between us, I believe tourism contributes much more to GDP than what is reported. NWR envisions tourism to revolve into what it was before. Many people are after adventure tourism. Many Europeans will tell you they are not after luxury traveling. They want to sleep under the stars. They want to enjoy nature. So they want to camp. And this is what we should be evolving into. The good thing is everyone is experiencing, everyone that's involved in tourism is experiencing an increase. For example, vehicle rentals will tell you when the picnic season comes, it's all sold out. NWR, if one wants to make a booking for Etosha, there's no space left in it. The whole Etosha is full of room. So I think it's something very, very positive. The only thing that we have to do is we have to protect the industry. And by protection, I mean offering safety to our tourists. Remember, there are three points that drive or that makes someone want to visit the country. it's your safety, it's your health, basically your social access to social initiatives, you know, your hospitals, drinking water, safe drinking water, and all those things. But what I'm saying is, there are those that are also starting to pick up and become a concern. And it's quite funny because when the other one rises, the other one dips. Right now we are seeing an influx in tourism robbery. That can really play a very, very, very terrible factor on tourism. So we need to jealously guard this industry. Let us all ensure that our tourists are safe. Remember, many tourists would want to drop their bags and just walk through the streets of Windhoek up to Katotura safely without any forms of intimidation or having to feel some type of way. So let us protect our tourists. But most importantly, for now, I'm happy that there are efforts from industry players to ensure that safety is promoted. Many have announced initiatives to protect tourists, and many are writing letters of concern. Many are coming up with strategies to protect our tourists.
Yeah, I think I've experienced it when I wanted to book, I think between the 7th and the 8th of September.
Yeah.
I wanted to book for Itoshi and I was fully booked. And I kept on calling and I kept on, did anybody cancel yet? Nobody canceled, so it was fully booked. So I can see that. Speaking of that, I can see that NWR is quite busy when it comes to tourism. I wanted to know if I know that COVID-19 affected a lot of tourism industry, but I wanted to know how was NWR affected? Was there a way, how long did it take for NWR to rebuild? Were you completely affected? What happened during COVID-19?
Everyone was affected, but anyone will tell you tourism was the most affected industry. NWR was crippled down to its knees, but it will be unfair for me to speak about recovery or preventing complete closure without having to thank the NWR staff, because you should remember that many or NWR had to announce at least a not really a salary reduction, but salary cut, just to ensure that the organization gets through. Obviously, what kept NWR afloat a little bit was the fact that some of its facilities were offered for at least for COVID patients and so forth. So there was that strategy which allowed for NWR to survive, but I think by the grace of having strong leadership, we survived, NWR survived, and most importantly also recovery, it was not as speedy as it would have been, because remember, NWR first announced profit in the year 2019, and immediately afterwards COVID happened, and this profit was slashed, not even by half. Operational costs were, all the costs were slashed by 70-80%, so it was an operation on a thread. Recovery started obviously immediately as it started to come and so forth. So far we are happy with what we are seeing, and when we announce our financial numbers at the end of the financial year, we will be able to pick up, what worked, what did not work. But most importantly, it's just to thank NWR employees who have kept the organization afloat. I think by taking harsh decisions. Obviously, the voluntary separations package, the VSP that many employees also took, also kept the organization afloat. So there were those hasty decisions which were actually very, very beneficial to the organization.
I'm gonna try, give it a try.
Super.
Thank you so much, Nelson. It was really nice having you.
It was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Sure.